So, what if your company's data wasn't just this passive thing you have to dig through? What if it was an active, intelligent partner? That's what we're going to dig into today, a concept called the Agentic Data Mesh, which is a fancy way of saying a future where your data, quite literally, manages itself.
I mean, we all feel this, right? In any modern company, you are just swimming in data. Sales numbers, customer feedback, market trends. It is a constant flood of information, and you're just drowning in it.
And that's the real paradox, isn't it? For all the data we're hoarding, getting a simple, timely answer to a business question can feel like pulling teeth. It's all locked away, and it takes teams of engineers and analysts just to manually sort through it, clean it up, and get you an answer.
But what if we could just flip that entire model on its head? What if, instead of people chasing down data, the data could organize itself, protect itself, and even serve up the answers all on its own? This is the really powerful idea at the heart of what we're about to explore.
Okay, so how on earth does this actually work? Well, it all starts by replacing those slow, manual processes with a brand new, totally autonomous team.
All right, let's get the official term out of the way. It's called an Agentic Data Mesh. Basically, it's a setup where specialized AI agents, little autonomous bots, take over the entire data lifecycle. So instead of people doing all the work, these agents produce, govern, and help you use data as clean, reliable products.
The best way to think about it is like you're hiring this dream team of AI assistants. First up, you've got the producer agent. This thing is like a hyper-caffeinated librarian, cataloging every single new piece of information that comes in. Then you've got the governance sentinel. That's your tireless 24/7 security guard, making sure all the rules are being followed. And finally, there's the consumer agent, who is basically a brilliant research assistant ready to find and put together answers for you in a snap.
Okay, let's actually walk through this. Let's follow a single piece of data on its journey through this system, right from the moment it shows up. So, picture this. A new sales report just lands in your cloud storage. Instantly, our librarian, the producer agent, detects it. It profiles the file, running quality checks. Then it uses its brain to contextualize it. It figures out, this looks like Q3 sales data. From there, it registers this file as an official data product in a central catalog. And it even goes a step further, automatically generating a business description and relevant tags. And the best part? Zero human touch. None.
And this is where you can really see it in action. That producer agent, it's like the starting pistol for the entire automated process. That very first step, turning a raw, random file into a profiled, registered asset, is what transforms it into a valuable piece of information that the rest of the system can actually work with. It's the critical handoff from total chaos to, actual order.
All right, the data's in the system. It's all nicely cataloged. But is it safe? Let's meet the next agent in the chain, the guardian at the gate.
This is where our security guard, the governance sentinel, gets to work. It immediately scans that new data product, and it's looking for anything sensitive, like personally identifiable information, or PII. The stuff you really don't want getting out. It checks what it finds against all your company's rules to make sure everything is compliant before it can ever be used.
But, and this is maybe the most important part, this whole system is built with safety first. This quote like here from the source documents is a non-negotiable rule. Agents are never ever allowed to do critical things like delete data or grant someone access without getting explicit approval from a real person first.
And you can see that safety net right here in this diagram. The workflow literally hits a human gate, which is a mandatory stop. It kicks off an approval loop. This isn't just a suggestion, it's a required pause. A person has to sign off on those critical actions, which means you, the human, always have the final say over your most sensitive data.
So, the data is in, it's cataloged, and it's totally secure. Now, for the really cool part, getting the answers you actually need without the headache.
So let's say someone in marketing has a pretty simple question. They're not a data scientist, they're not going to write any code. They just ask in plain English, just like they'd ask a colleague.
And this is where our brilliant research assistant, the consumer agent, just absolutely shines. First, it goes into discovery mode, finding all the relevant data products it needs, even if they live in totally different departments like sales and inventory. Then, it synthesizes all that information, automatically generating the complex code needed to join them all together. And finally, it executes that query and prepares a simple, summarized answer. And this is the payoff. The marketing manager doesn't see a single line of code. They don't get a massive, confusing spreadsheet. They just get an answer, a direct answer to their question.
All the heavy lifting, all the technical complexity was handled by the agent behind the scenes. This is a total game changer. It makes data insights accessible to everyone, not just the experts.
Okay, but here's the thing that takes this from just a cool tool to something else entirely. It's not just what it does, it's how it learns.
See, this system has a memory. It's not just acting, it's watching. Every single thing an agent does, every question a user asks, every piece of code it generates, and every result it gives back, all of that is logged and stored in a central knowledge base. It's constantly learning from its own experience.
And this right here, this is that knowledge loop in action. All those interactions feed into that knowledge store, which is then used to retrain the agents themselves. It updates their core programming, making them smarter, faster, and more accurate over time. The whole system literally gets better every single time you use it.
So let's just pull all that together for a second. What have we seen? We've seen how these autonomous agents can completely automate the data lifecycle, how our messy data gets turned into these clean, discoverable products, how anyone can ask questions in plain English and get real answers back, and crucially, how that human-in-the-loop gate keeps everything safe. And maybe coolest of all, how this whole thing learns and gets smarter all by itself. Which really leaves us with one big final thought. If we no longer have to spend all our time just finding and wrestling with our data, and instead we can simply ask questions and get answers, what new, bigger, more creative questions are we finally going to be free to explore?